What's going on, guys? Chinese Guy here. Welcome back to another episode of News Roundup. Today I will basically summarize all the Final Stand DLC leaks we have gotten so far this week alongside with its official release date, and I will also talk a little bit about how Battlefield Hardline is confirmed to have two criminal factions. There's a lot to talk about, so let's get started. So this week there was a brand new update to Battlelog in preparation for the Final Stand DLC's launch. This is pretty usual, as with the other DLCs, DICE usually updates Battlelog a week or two before the actual DLC launches, so we kinda expected this to happen. Now, Final Stand is confirmed to be released on November the 18th for Battlefield Premium members on all platforms, and December the 2nd for the rest of the community. But anyways, along with changing up the usual background to reflect the DLC's theme, this time a wintry theme, there were new entries added to Battlefield 4's list of assignments and dog tags, some of which actually suggested a few interesting things like a bow and arrow weapon called the Spider. Now, this weapon is tied to the new Phantom Operative assignment, which clearly displays a bow and arrow hidden behind a golden skull in its design. Now, around the internet there is a little bit of confusion about the Phantom Operative assignment. Ever since the Rad Gamer Dan released this image of the Phantom Operative assignment for Final Stand, people are confused thinking that there is a Phantom weapon and there's also the Spider Bow. Well, in the game code, the Phantom is the code name for the Spider Bow, and finishing this assignment will only unlock the Phantom Operative dog tag and not a new weapon. And to unlock this dog tag, you will need to use the Spider Bow because this is called Phantom and you have to get 200 kills and 50 headshots with this weapon. So got all that? Basically, there is no second Phantom weapon, it is only the Spider Bow. But later in this video, I have a little bit information on a third and fourth special weapon called the Frostbite and the Tundra weapon. But meanwhile, let's go back to the Spider Bow. Again, this thing has been spotted in the game's code, which also lists a number of different attachments such as a stabilizer, explosive arrows, and a target detector. So it is kinda similar to Battlefield 3's Aftermath DLC's Expo, but this time around, unlike that expansion, this weapon is actually a primary weapon instead of a gadget. This means this bow probably has to be powerful enough to stand up to guns in Battlefield 4. I guess for now we just have to wait to see how DICE LA is planning to balance all this. I definitely think it will be very interesting. Next, along with the Spider Bow, DICE has added a few rather useful weapons such as the bipod knife, which is called the C100. See, the bipod knife has been sort of a running joke with the Battlefield community ever since the Battlefield Friends guys made that episode. So it's kinda nice to see DICE going along with the joke and actually putting it into the game. Next, DICE also will be raising the highest rank from the current 130 to 140. So better start using up them 25% XP boosts that you have been getting from those gold battle packs. But speaking of those things, David Sirland, again who is a developer for DICE, is on a roll here and just talking about things on Twitter. He said that they are looking into having a system in combining the smaller XP boosts to create something like a 200% or 100% XP boost, which is something much more useful. This is an awesome idea. I think I have like 225 XP boosts and like 150 XP boosts just sitting around, and I don't think I am alone on this. So if there is a system to combine everything, it would be great and I would actually get a chance to use them. Lastly, DICE will be releasing some awesome looking Final Stand DLC dog tags. They have a futuristic look to them and seems like they may be a popular choice for the community when they unlock it, cause it actually looks pretty cool for once. And as usual, there will be 10 new assignments to unlock gadgets and weapons or dog tags. But the two most important ones this time around for the Final Stand DLC are called Disinformation and I Spy. By completing the Disinformation assignment, you will unlock the DS3 decoy gadget, and to complete it, you will have to affect 10 enemies with the M84 flashbangs, so I would suggest going into something like Locker or Metro and chucking a couple of them at some choke points. And you will also have to get 3 melee kills, which isn't too bad and too hard to do. But currently it is unknown if you will have to do this assignment all in one round, but even so, it shouldn't be too hard. Then for the second assignment, which is called I Spy, this unlocks the target detector attachment for your gun. You will have to get 2 spotting ribbons, and I believe you get a spotting ribbon every time you perform a certain task 6 times. So basically 12 spots should get you the 2 ribbons. And if you do spot on a regular basis, which I think a lot of you guys already do because it is so useful to mark all your enemies, this shouldn't be a problem for you. Then you will also have to get 20 kills with a DMR or carbine, which again is pretty simple. Lastly, I have a little bit of information on the 2 mystery weapons, which for now not a lot of people have talked about yet. Now, within the list of assignments, there were 2 of them which were called Mechanized Mayhem and Frostbite. What's strange about them is not their names, it's actually what they unlock. In Mechanized Mayhem, by spending 5 minutes in the air with the launch pods and 25 kills with the Skrichpina 42, you will apparently unlock the Tundra weapon and a vehicle camo. Now with the Frostbite weapon, just by playing 10 hours of Final Stand and winning 10 rounds of each of the Final Stand maps, you will apparently unlock the Frostbite weapon and also another vehicle camo. So for now, I have no idea what is going on with the Frostbite weapon and the Tundra weapon, although it is very possible these aren't the real names for these 2 assignments or weapons, because usually an in-game code during the development is not usually their real name, so it is possible it's just a placeholder and is kind of misleading us. But personally, I don't think so, because in the whole list of assignments they didn't use any code names but actually in-game weapon names. So again, I don't know. As usual, just take any leaked information and speculation with a huge grain of salt, because anything can change at any time. Next, moving on, let's skip over all the Final Stand news that we have and let's talk about Battlefield Final Stand. So on Twitter, a guy who goes by Noob Unit 117 asked a DICE dev who goes by Dirty Death Dog. He asked, will criminals in Battlefield Hardline multiplayer look like professional criminals or a ragtag team of criminals? And the DICE dev actually replied with, and I quote, there's 2 criminal factions, one high-end professionals, the others decidedly less high-end. So this is pretty interesting, because at first I actually thought there are only 2 factions, the police and the criminals, but now it is confirmed basically that there is the less high-end criminals and the professional criminals. So I don't know how this is all going to tie in with the whole linear weapon unlocking system, but hopefully we'll get more news on that very soon. Anyways, that about wraps up this episode of News Roundup. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and down in the comments tell me what you guys think about all the topics I talked about. Like, what do you think about the whole Phantom program? Are you guys looking forward to it when the DLC finally comes out? Also, feel free to subscribe. I will have a lot of very similar content coming to my channel very soon. Thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.